I have never seen this particular feature on a USB mic before, but you know what? It's about time. I'm talking about the ability to adjust your mix levels independently, and SE Electronics has accomplished exactly that with the release of their new NEOM USB mic. And if you're doing any serious audio recording, this makes the USB mics almost worthless. And in a moment, I'll explain why this is such an important development. Now, every time I try a new SE Electronics microphone, I'm just incredibly pleased with it. They just seem to know what they're doing. And I do admit, though, that I was a little nervous about a USB mic from them. It's their first USB mic that I know of, and there are some really poor quality USB mics on the market. But I had nothing to worry about. The NEOM is definitely worthy of the SE Electronics name. It's a side address, small diaphragm condenser with a 16mm capsule for those of you measuring that sort of thing. Now, to me, the design of the mic body itself is subtly different from their other mics in a way I can't quite put my finger on. It's kind of a little more futuristic in its shape, I guess. Now, just about all USB mics come with a little desktop stand, and the NEOM is no exception. The NEOM stand is really sturdy and it's not going to wobble around. However, I am not a big fan of these desktop stands for any mic. There are two problems with these stands. The first is that they pick up a lot of thumps and bangs from your desk, and the other is that it's just way too low. You can't get your mic up off the desk and close to your mouth. That's going to lead to a lot of background noise unless your studio is really well treated for sound. Fortunately, the NEOM has a mic clip in between the mic and the stand, so you can pull the clip off the stand and then use it to attach the NEOM to a boom arm or something like that. That lets you put the mic where it's going to sound best, closer to your mouth. The NEOM has a cardioid polar pattern, but you don't have the ability to select other polar patterns. Now, cardioid is the polar pattern most people use, like 99% of the time, so I don't see that as an issue. And to be honest, it would require a second capsule, and then the NEOM would cost a whole lot more money. The mic is 24-bit, and you can select sample rates from 44.1 all the way up to 192 kilohertz, so they are not messing around when it comes to sample rates. The NEOM sounds really nice, too. It has a warm low end and a crisp high end that isn't overly hyped or brittle sounding. Now, since it's a condenser mic, you are going to pick up a lot of plosive sounds when you're really up close to it. I do really recommend using a pop filter with this mic. It's a shame it doesn't come with one because many USB mic customers are first-time buyers and might not know how to solve a plosive problem. As far as I can tell, the mic doesn't have an internal windscreen, so get a pop filter. You can get a very broadcast, podcast-style low-end boost by getting right up to this mic, and that's called the proximity effect. You probably knew that, but it's pretty significant on this mic. Typically, I'll be about a couple of fingers away from a mic because I want that proximity effect, but in this case, I prefer the more neutral sound when I'm further away from the mic, like a whole hand or a fist or something. Fortunately, the mic doesn't seem to be overly sensitive to background noise, even when I'm a little further away from the mic. And of course, plosives are going to be less noticeable when I'm further away, but I still do recommend the pop filter. So let's do a quick plosive test and you'll see what I mean. So I'm facing the camera, I'm off axis to the microphone a little bit so I'm not hitting the diaphragm with my plosives. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. All right, you ready? I'm going to do this right on axis now. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Oh yeah, I can see from the meters that was pretty horrendous. All right, so now I'm going to put a pop filter on it. All right, back to the off axis again, but now I have a pop filter on. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. And directly on axis with the pop filter, Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Here's a fun fact. I'm an idiot. I'll explain what I mean. I was pretty sure the NEOM had a mute button, but I couldn't find it when I first started using the mic. When I was shooting the B-roll for this review, I kept pushing the mic gain knob because I thought that was also the mute button. I would see the level indicator flash green for a second, but it turns out that was just the mic responding to the sound of my finger pushing the knob. It wasn't until I turned off the main studio light that I saw the SC logo was actually backlit. And guess what? That's also the mute button. When you press it, it turns red to tell you're muted. I mentioned the mic has a level indicator. It's not a segmented meter. In other words, it's not like little rectangles stacked up on top of each other. It's just an LED ring around the mic gain knob that turns colors. Green means you're getting a signal, and red means you're too loud and probably close to clipping. Now, here's where the NEOM makes other USB mics kind of pointless. You've got the mic gain knob, of course, which is how you adjust the volume going to your computer. You gotta have that, and you set it before you record, and then you don't mess with it. Now, most USB mics would have just one other knob, which would be the headphone volume. However, if you're a vocalist or instrumentalist, that's not enough. You're probably singing or playing along to music coming from your computer, and it's vital that you can adjust the level of your performance independently from the music. If you're a vocalist, you know how crucial getting your mix is. It could throw off your pitch, and it can definitely throw off your whole vibe if your vocals are too loud or too soft in your headphones. That's where the NEOM shines. It has one knob for the mic level and another for the playback level. You can adjust the mix of what you hear in your headphones with these two knobs, and at no point do you have to mess with the signal being sent to your computer. If you're a content creator and you're not singing or playing along to a recorded track, this feature might be less useful to you, but if you're using this for the home studio, this is absolutely crucial. Come to think of it, a lot of USB preamps that you'd plug a traditional XLR mic into don't have this feature either. What the heck? The NEOM sells for about $150, but of course prices change from time to time, so I put an affiliate link in the video notes to check current prices. Also, if you're watching this on a TV, here's a QR code so you can scan it to take you directly there. I have found out recently that 8% of my viewers watch my content on a TV, so they can't click a link. Who knew? So the NEOM is sturdy, it sounds good, and you probably won't feel the need to upgrade for a really long time. And it's an especially good choice if you're recording vocals or instruments with it. Now, I mentioned earlier that using this mic or any mic on a desk stand might contribute to too much background noise leaking into your recording. Background noise can be a really annoying issue, especially for people who are new to audio. So if background noise bothers you, I've got 3 tips that will banish that background noise forever. And you can learn about those 3 tips by watching this video right here.